The year is 1953. He's reading about opportunities, talking to people about what kind of an industry to get into. Reads an article on the train company in Time magazine and says, wow, that sounds pretty cool. Let me look into this a little further. And that's really how he got started.
He was a young naval officer from Louisville, Kentucky. Got an appointment to the academy. Came out of the academy, 5 years, went to sea. He was just a young fellow that came to town with a knapsack on his back and wanted to start a business and raise a family.
Big Lou really cared for people. He was always concerned about the individual. He wanted to make sure that the people that he associated with, that he surrounded himself with, constantly knew that they were appreciated, that they were adequately rewarded, that they were part of a family.
He was a great leader, a guy who learned how to lead in the Navy, taught people how to treat their customers, how to make money, how to play fairly. He was tough, he was firm, but he was also a great teacher. Taught people how to do their jobs and how to do it well.
The 60s in D.C. was a decade of growth. Kennedy's came in the White House. It was Camelot. The school market was growing. The universities were growing. The Beltway was being built out in our area. At the end of the decade, we probably had 18 trained sales engineers selling for us and about 13 or 14 servicemen. So it was quite a growth area.
The 70s became a very successful period of high growth and change in technology and so forth.
One of the things that hit us in the 70s was the whole concept of energy management and controlling buildings. In those days, people weren't turning off lights, they weren't turning off things, and our clients were dying because energy was getting expensive. It was a very, very tough period. We got into controls, we started doing different things with buildings and controlling them.
One of the first things that we did in the beginning of the 80s was have to expand our building. And we were currently in Rockville at Park Lawn Drive. We had already outgrown the property, and at that point in time we had to add a second floor onto the building, which was roughly the equivalent of another 40% of the size of the eventual product. The technology of the company started to advance at a far accelerated rate. So we were very much in growth mode at that particular point.
When I think about the 90s, I think about the aspect of controls and it becoming core to our business was very, very important. Also during the end of the 90s, and as we moved into the 21st century, we started to put in management practices, I think, that helped keep that small and intimate feel, which I think is really, really important. If you lose that aspect of it, you're losing something that's really, really important.
Lou started off and formed a wonderful company and was a very smart guy and worked very hard at grooming people here to be able to take over and take control when he was no longer able to do so. I think the company is very well positioned to take itself into the next decade beyond this, and I think everyone is very enthusiastic about the potential for us to grow in the future.
We're tickled pink to be turning 50, but we're not resting on our laurels. We think there's great opportunities out there, and we're excited about doing new and different things going forward.
I still pinch myself when I drive up in the morning that we have such a fine group of people working for us in a wonderful building that we're lucky to show off to our clients. and I think our best years are still ahead of us.
The thing about Boland that's great is that once you come here and once you're in the culture, the people are just so outstanding. It's just, you know, it's a home. It really is a home.